What's up everybody, it's the Inhuman one here, and today I'm going to provide you with a comprehensive guide for the Creepy Syndrome. In this video, I'll show you how to get each unique outcome in the 4 available sessions, and also the best way to obtain all 3 endings. We've got a lot to cover, so without further ado, let's get started. The Creepy Syndrome is a retro-inspired horror anthology that consists of 4 vastly different games referred to as sessions. Each of the sessions have a good and a bad outcome, which depends on the decisions you make along the way. Keep in mind that it's best to obtain all the bad endings first, then repeat the sessions to obtain the good endings once all 4 have already been completed. In order to keep things as simple as possible, we'll select each session from top to bottom order, starting with a watchful gaze. This session is primarily an interactive story with minimal point-and-click mechanics. The player character is only allowed to move forward, and after a certain amount of forward progress, the protagonist will trigger a consistent timeline of events. After locating the newspaper clipping, a photo, a scalpel, and more, the player character will eventually rest due to her exhausted mental and physical state. As she drifts between consciousness, a terrifying face will appear from the darkness. Use the scalpel to attack it and wake up. After several more simple puzzles and scripted dialogue sequences, you will eventually find a pistol. As soon as the manifestation of your guilt appears, you will have 2 options. In order to obtain the bad ending, which I recommend getting first, allow the monster to deplete your HP. Once the battle is over, you'll learn that Laura has succumbed to the weight of her guilt and was crushed by it, ending her life in the process. For the good ending, proceed to shoot it repeatedly and reload as quickly as possible. Be sure to time your reloads so that they don't take up too much time. Continue shooting until the screen goes black, and you'll be rewarded with a reassuring message and some praise from the therapist. The next session is titled The Lord of the Road. Technically, this session has 3 endings, which consist of 1 good ending and 2 variations of the bad ending. The third ending is essentially a secret achievement that can be unlocked, but has no real impact on the bad or intermediate endings at the end of the game. As you investigate the strange occurrences reported around an abandoned cult site, you will come across various items. Keep in mind that the only items that are critical to the actual endings themselves are the ceremonial dagger and the artifact that is given to you by a ghost. Once you obtain the ceremonial dagger from Martha's house, you'll have the option to complete the ritual or to refrain from using the knife and finding an alternative pathway. If you want the bad ending, be sure to carry out the ritual and leave the home. You will essentially add to the death toll of this demented little town and unwillingly offer up your entrails to feed the false god the people have been worshipping. If you want the good ending, be sure to collect the knife, head over to the generator area and explore the newly cleared pathway. Once you're there, you'll notice a second altar and will have the opportunity to insert the circular artifact, complete a simple puzzle, and free the ghosts. Once the ghosts are freed, you can head over to the first altar, insert the ceremonial dagger, and enter the portal to the demon realm. From here, you will need to zigzag your way down the screen to avoid the demon's projectiles. Continue zigzagging until you reach its heart and press the action button to stab the heart, ending the demon's tyrannous reign once and for all. If you've been enjoying the video so far, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out immensely. Also, if you want a full story breakdown and analysis of each of the game's endings, be sure to check out my main channel, the Inhuman one, linked on screen and in the description of this video. Now that we have 2 sessions completed, the next mission should trigger an ending if you haven't been following the guide. Remember to complete the bad endings first so you can easily experience all 3 endings. The next session, titled The Red Button, is another point-and-click game that takes place in a nuclear missile silo. The protagonist is tasked with carrying out the launch order and activating the protocol in order to end the world. This one is actually incredibly simple. Once you get used to the simple button layout, you'll quickly get to the scene where 4 consoles are activated to unlock the red button. The bad ending requires you to press the button and end the world. If you choose this ending, you're chastised for being loyal to the end and refusing to trust in your own judgment. The good ending is just as easy to obtain and requires that you simply choose the go outside option. This prevents the nuclear launch and allows the people of Earth to live another day. At this point, if you've completed 3 missions with the bad ending, you should be treated with a horrific scene where the therapist mocks you for your inability to discern reality from fiction and transforms into a gruesome headless figure. But fortunately for us, this is just a video game, and we have the ability to retry and replay past levels to change the outcomes. Nocturne is the 4th and final session. Honestly, this was one of my favorites because of the simplicity and how well it was carried out. I never quite felt safe, and the unknown element had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. The ultimate goal in this session is to carry out a ritual and make one decision at the end that can impact whether or not you get the good or bad ending. Every other step up until this point is exactly the same, so it's incredibly easy to replay and obtain the alternate ending once you have played through the first time. In order to get the bad ending, be sure to select the Go to Bed option. This will force the protagonist to carry out the ritual despite the imminent danger and face the consequences of putting faith in the dark arts. For the good ending, be sure to escape by jumping safely out of the window. This option will provide an entirely different news report indicating that Sarah made it out safely and that local authorities heightened security in the area. Now that you're armed with the knowledge of how to obtain each individual outcome, you can go back and complete 2 sessions with the good endings. This should trigger the intermediate ending where the therapist admits the results are inconclusive and that additional testing is needed. Typical doctor stuff. Once you obtain that ending, all you need to do is get one more good outcome to unlock the good ending, which treats us to a scene that forces us to question our true identities. Just so that you know, it is not necessary to get all 4 good or bad outcomes to obtain an ending. 3 good or 3 bad is all that is needed. The intermediate ending is unlocked by having an equal amount of good and bad outcomes. And that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, it truly helps me out a lot. And until next time, it's the Inhuman One, signing out. Consider becoming a patron for exclusive behind the scenes content if you want to support the channel in a more personal way. Be sure to click on this video here to continue the journey, and I'll see you there. Join the Inhuman community today.